the final tonight. And the best team in baseball wins it all in 2018.
For the first hit. Rutschman into right field. Down the line. A fair ball. Adley will turn first. Head for second. He's going to turn second. Go for third. Rutschman into third base standing. An extra base hit. His first hit in the major leagues. Welcome to the...
These are long pitch innings, I think. Blister, that's what you wanted to make sure.
Here's a high fly ball into right. Back is Betts on the move. On the track. He's got catch by Mookie Betts.
Now, Clifford looking for a clean inning here in the seventh.
Hit well out to right center field. Jones still on the move, running out of room, and he makes it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Ballpark. As always, I'm your host, Patrick Moran, alongside Brendan Cunningham. Today, we're going to be starting off a brand new series. We're going to do top 10s right now at every position for the 2025 season. We got catchers and first baseman on deck for this episode. We'll be doing 2 positions per episode, so that'll be really fun to get into. We've already made these lists. Haven't heard it. And we'll see what the other one has to say. But, Brendan, first of all, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Pretty good. How's life in the Boston sports world? I mean, Celtics are playing well. You got, Patriot season's been long over, but that's okay. Red Sox are about to start up.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get Drake May as a Pro Bowler. That's pretty exciting.
That's good stuff right there. So
I know you had some tough losses. I know you're not a Washington fan, but you're in that area. That was
yeah,
nice run for the Commanders.
Still a little sad. Yeah, it wasn't fun to watch the Commanders lose. Obviously, sucked to watch the Ravens lose, but we got baseball season right around the corner. Spring training is this month, so that is obviously super exciting. Pitchers and catchers report in about 2 weeks, so we'll be looking forward to that. But I think without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So we'll get started off with catchers. I'll get it started off, and we'll kind of snake. I'll give my thoughts, you give your thoughts, and then you can lead us into the next one and so on. So for my number 10 catcher, I had Patrick Bailey. Patrick Bailey, he had a 1.8 B-WAR, 401 at-bats, 94 hits, 8 homers, 234 average. The hitting stats are not super impressive. He's not the greatest bat in the world, but you're paying for the defense, and that is what is the vocal point for him. This dude's crazy with what he can do behind the plate. If I can find some of his, wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, I can't really find any of his fielding stats on Baseball Reference, but this dude is nuts when it comes to just being a defender. I mean, he still strikes with the best of them, can throw out a runner, with a snap of a finger, and he's on here for the defense. That's literally it. It's crazy how good he is behind the plate. He's one of the best defenders in the sport.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, my number 10, I had Logan Ohape. Is it Ohape? I forget how to say it.
I think he's so hoppy.
Ohape. Okay, I got Logan Ohape of Los Angeles Angels. Pretty good offensive player. 21 runs, 244 average this year. 2.7 WARs. Okay behind the plate. But I think he's a good all around. He's young. He's only 25, almost 26. So I think he's a good catcher for the Angels. One of the bright spots of that team, and I think he just does everything well. I saw on him.
Absolutely. You want to take us into the next one?
Of course. Next number 9, I had Tyler Stevenson.
Mhm.
Um, Real good defensive catcher. I mean, look at the numbers. Only 4 errors all year. And one of the best fielding percentages out of catchers. And then also offensively, he hit 258 with 19 home runs, which isn't bad at all. So I think that's pretty good numbers. I think it deserves him number 9 spot. And defense is good. Offense could be better. But overall, I think he's been a catcher for a couple years now.
Yeah, for sure. So my number 9, I did have Logan O'Hoppe. So we're almost identical there. Logan O'Hoppe's he's a really good player. He's a solid little bat, solid little catcher. It was a 100 OPS plus, so right at league average. Um, I believe he was hurt for a little bit this year, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. He played 136 games. That's actually a lot. Maybe he wasn't hurt. 479 at bats, 117 hits, 20 homers. 56 RBIs. That's pretty good from the catcher position. He just seems pretty well rounded in what he can do. I mean, he's kind of an okay defender. It's an average to above average bat, and he's a nice safety blanket catcher. He's very relaxed with Logan O'Hoppe, and uh, he seems like a solid guy. Number 8. This is where I had Shea Langoliers. Shea Langoliers. He's not the best defender. There's not a whole lot of value there, but he is a masher at the plate. I mean, he almost had 30 home runs, which was like similar to Pat Bailey. The gloves got him on this list. I feel like power with Shea Langoliers got him on this list. So, it was only a 224 average, 288 on base, 450 slugging, 739 OPS, 111 OPS plus, so 11% better than league average. I mean, that's pretty good for Shea Langoliers. That's career best in a lot of categories. So I think Shea Langoliers could be that slugging catcher for the A's, and he could be a nice piece moving forward.
So there's number 8, right?
Number 8, yes.
I also had Shea Langoliers here.
Nice.
So we're so far pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Three first spots. I like what you said there. He's definitely power batting. 29 bombs, the most out of catchers. This is never mind. There's another guy ahead of him. Talking on later, but he's second most. So 29 bombs per catcher. You certainly take that. Not a lot of catchers are known for their hitting, and sure he did 224 average, but I can live with that if you had 29 bombs as a catcher. The defense, isn't any special. He's solid catcher, but you're looking at that power numbers, and like you said, he could be a real important piece for this Oakland A's team.
Absolutely. He's a nice piece to have as you kind of move to Sacramento, or not Sacramento. You're going to Vegas, but they're going to be playing the next few seasons in Sacramento. So next up on my list, it was a guy you already mentioned. I had Tyler Stevenson. It was a pretty nice bounce back for Tyler Stevenson. I felt, it was he was definitely hurt. He played 100. He was hurt in 2022. He played 142 games in 2023. He had an OPS below 700, and that wasn't a great season for him. But he had a nice bounce back in 2024. He played 138 games. He had 515 plate appearances, 467 at 57 at bats, 118 hits, 19 homers, 258 average, 66 RBIs, 112 OPS plus. I mean, he's good. I mean, it's a nice bat. It's an above average bat for sure. I'm hoping that he can continue the success in the 2025 after kind of rocky or rough patches in his career. So I like Tyler Stevenson a lot, and obviously he's got the park helping him playing in Great American.
Yeah. So I like how Rosso kept him there, and then number 7, I also have someone you already mentioned. I have Patrick Bailey.
Okay.
From the San Francisco Giants. I think we talked about this before, but I do value defense, especially in a position like a catcher, a little more than you do. So, Patrick Bailey was a Gold Glove this year in the National League. So I value that more. I want to have a really good defensive catcher for a team. I mean, when you're one of the best in the sport, like you're saying, that's brings your value up.
Yeah.
I had to give him a little bump for that. I know his offensive numbers aren't the great. When you're as good as a defender as you and you described a lot of the qualities he does well, I I tend to be more favorable to that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of good points. Great first name too. He would
Yeah.
he's he's number one in baseball in terms of names. Um, Number six. Well, as we get closer to the top five, I had Yainer Diaz in my top six. He put up a 3.2 WAR this year. That's really good. It kind of felt like he got handed the keys to the catching job for Houston. They moved on from Martin Maldonado, which was about time. And Yainer Diaz took advantage of that. He had 585 at bats in 2024. He played 148 games, which is very impressive. Um, he had 16 home runs, 175 hits, 299 average, driving in a lot of runs at 84. 118 OPS plus. I mean, this is a really solid offensive catcher. The defense is coming along a little bit. But if he can get that defense to a really good spot, I think he's this is going to be a great piece to have in Houston. So I like Yainer Diaz a lot. I think he's a fun bat. He can obviously eat with those Crawford boxes, and Houston's got their guy.
And we hit again because I also have Diaz here in my sixth spot.
Well, I love
Um,
that.
yeah, he kind of said it all there. Good. He got the keys. Had a great season, almost 300 average. With 16 home runs, 84 RBIs. Real good offensive season out of him, and I think he's a great catcher for this Astros team. Um, I don't know what to say. You kind of nailed it. Good defensively, just really offensive numbers, what you're looking for there. 300 average, something you don't see out of catchers. That have that. Is another great player for the Astros.
Yeah.
All right, number 5. Should I just do it?
Yeah, you can go
I
ahead.
don't know. I don't know if you're gonna like this, but this is where
Oh,
I put Adley Rutschman.
okay.
I feel like maybe Adley had a down year this year. It wasn't as well as he was compared to other years, and he had to take a hit for that. I still respect him enough, so I didn't drop him any below the 5. So I
Mm.
do believe that this season there were guys that had better numbers than him, but I gave respect to what he's done in the past. So I just take my 5 offensive numbers. I'll give you to here. He had 19 home runs, 250 average, 79 RBIs, OPS of 107. Not bad numbers. He's still good defensively. It's just like I said, a down from last year. I think he'll definitely bounce back because he still is Adley Rutschman. Top #1 prospect, former and former first overall pick. So I think he'll have a much better year this year. But this year wasn't as well, so I had to drop him.
Okay, that's fair enough. It was not up to Adley's standards this season, but obviously the talent is still there with him. So I'm looking at my list. I'm actually going to readjust a little bit. So my number 5 is actually going to be Salvador Perez. Salvador Perez, he had a really good offensive 2024 season. It was a 2.5 WAR for him, and he had 590 at bats, 160 hits, 27 homers, a 271 average, 104 RBIs, 330 on base, 456 slugging, and a 786 OPS, 119 OPS plus. I mean, this is a really good bat at the catcher position, and he's obviously the captain now for Kansas City, which is really cool. We don't really see the captain patch anymore, but Salvador Perez he's not that great of a defender, and I do feel like that can dock him a little bit, and I don't know how sustainable the production is at this point in his career, which kind of makes me hesitate a little bit. I mean, he's going into his age 35 season, so I don't know how repeatable this is, but right now he's obviously an integral piece for Kansas City. and he's still really good. So after I kind of tweaked a little bit, and I'll kind of work on the fly with that, I think Salvador Perez is going to be number 5 for me.
All right. Number 4, I'll go right into it. I got Will Smith from the defending champs, Dodgers. Another guy that's kind of been just consistently good. A lot of years. Will Smith had another great year, 20 home runs, 248 average, 75 RBIs. So good numbers. Defense. Will Smith can do it. He posted a 1 defensive WAR this year, and Will Smith is just a catch, does it all consistently over years. It's unfortunate that Dodgers have him because, of course, they do. They have a catcher. So yeah, no surprise. Will Smith has had another good year. Um, you could put him a little higher. I just feel like there's guys with better offensive numbers ahead of him. So I had to drop him down, maybe not as high as other guys.
Yeah. So for my number 4, my new number 4, I'm gonna have Will Smith in this spot. You're talking about Will Smith right now. I actually forgot to pull up his baseball reference page, so we'll have to get that real quick. And I went to the pitcher, but Will Smith is he's really good. He's been really good for a long time. It feels like now. He had a 3.5 WAR season. He had 476 at bats, in 128 games. Catchers, they don't play all the time, so you have to take that into account. Yeah, 20 home runs as a backstop, 116 OPS plus, 248 average, 75 RBIs, 327 on base, 433 slugging, 760 OPS. I mean, Will Smith is still really good. It feels like he can get forgotten a little bit in the scuffle of kind of the catching position, but he's just so solid and he's so sound, and you'll love that if you're the Dodgers. He got that extension, so Will Smith is a great catcher. I mean, every team should want him if you don't have a stud catcher already. So Will Smith is the man behind the plate, and the defense keeps getting better and better, which is a nice positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want number 3?
Yeah, I'll do number 3. My number 3 is going to be Adley Rutschman. I think Adley is still in the top 3 catchers in the game conversation. He's absolutely right there, I think. And like you mentioned, it was kind of a down year for him, but the talent is still there. It felt like he was a little bit tired in the season. Maybe there was an issue there, but physically, and but he still put up an almost 3.5 win season. And if this is what you're getting Adley at his worst, that's about as good of a catcher you can ask for. He was played 148 games, 571 at bats, 19 home runs. He had a 250 average. You mentioned some of the stats already. I mean, Adley Rutschman can do a lot of things really well, and that's what makes him great. So, Adley is. I feel lucky to be watching Adley Rutschman on a day-to-day basis. He's awesome, and he turned this Orioles team around, which is super special. So, yeah, Adley I still think is in that top tier of catchers.
Yeah. I'll go to my number 3. This is where I had Cal Raleigh. Cal Raleigh, he had kind of it all this year. He was hit. Pull up his numbers here. I mean, he hit 34 home runs with 220 average, kind of the same stat lines he've had over the past few years. A lot of home runs, probably a little lower. But he also had a Gold Glove, and in fact, he even got the Platinum Glove. So I love that. I gotta pump him up for that. Number 3. Although it looks like maybe you even had him higher than me. So maybe you're a little higher than that. Like I said, the office numbers great. OPS plus of 119. 34 home runs, 100 RBIs. A lot of strikeouts, but also a lot of walks. So I feel like Cal Raleigh, kind of what you want as a catcher. He hits long balls, a lot of home runs, and also he's a great defender. So I don't really know what you could ask for from Kyle Raleigh. It's kind of what deserved number 3 spot.
Yeah, it's fair. He came in as my number 2. As I readjusted, Cal Raleigh right now I think is the second best catcher in the game. He had a 4.7 WAR. Like you mentioned, he plays great defense. He's got that pop in the bat, which is awesome. He only hits 220, but who really cares? He's almost got a 120 OPS plus. He drove in 100, which is really impressive. He almost had 35 homers. I mean, he's a fun catcher. I mean, this is a really fun profile to watch because you can just slam him out of the park. I mean, they don't call him Big Dumper for nothing, and he's fun. It's goofy. He's that this is Seattle's guy. I mean, he's one of the few hitters that has succeeded there. But Cal Raleigh is as good as any catcher. I would take him almost against anybody. So, he's great. Cal Raleigh is, and like you said, a great defender. He can do it all back there. So that's all you want out of your catcher. Good defense, home runs. That's about as stereotypical as it gets.
Yeah, now I'm moved to my number 2. There's someone you already mentioned. It's Salvador Perez. I
Wow.
see the opposite. What's that?
I just said wow. I didn't think he would be this high.
I gotta give him credit, man. I'll be second team, 27 home runs, 261 average, 104 RBIs. His offensive season is arguably better than Kyle Raleigh, if you want to say that. So I had to take that. I know defense isn't there, but I gotta give respect to Salvi. I mean, he's been doing it for so long. He's never stops. Like you said, he's the captain. He's a real, key part of this Royals team. I believe he was Silver Slugger too. Yeah, he was Silver Slugger. On be second team. I think he deserves number 2 spot to me. But I don't know. Maybe if you want to count the defense, which is kind of going against my beliefs here, I think I'm just a big fan of Salvi. I like all his personality and things. I give him credit.
Yeah, I mean, Salvi is good, but I don't know how you have him ahead of Kyle Raleigh personally. So, I do like my defense. I mean, that's why I had Pat Bailey in here. That's why I pushed Kyle Raleigh up. I mean, there is value to being a defender. So, that's why I think I had Salvi kind of more down my list. And then the number 1, I think we both have the same number 1. It's going to be William Contreras, I'm assuming for you.
Yeah, that's going to be it. Yeah,
so that's all you need to know pretty much. I mean, this dude had a almost 5-win season according to Baseball Reference. He had almost 130 OPS plus. He had an 831 OPS, a 281 average, 23 homers, 167 hits, 92 RBIs. I mean, this dude did it all last year. He was a great defender, too. That defense has really come along for him. I mean, this was quite a grab for the Brewers. I don't remember what trade this was. I think it was... Yeah. What trade was he in? He was in... It was Brewer is... Sean Murphy. Sean Murphy deal.
Yeah.
Because... Yeah, the Braves moved him to Milwaukee in that. Yeah, I mean, this dude is amazing. He's developed into something awesome. So, I mean, yeah, I think he's a clear-cut number 1 right now. Anything else on the catchers?
No, I mean, you said it all. William Contreras is the best catcher in baseball. It's not really that close. Unanimous, both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you said he does it all. Nothing to complain about.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure. So we'll move on to first base.
Yep.
So we'll get that started. And for the top 10 third or first baseman, I'll get started off. I had Josh Naylor as my 10th best first baseman in the game. I think Josh Naylor is really good. I mean, he had 1.5 win season according to BWAR. Obviously the defense did not help him with that WAR whatsoever. He had 563 at bats in how many games? 152. So he's pretty available. 137 hits, 31 homers, a 243 average, 108 driven in, 118 OPS plus. He's gonna hit really well with the Diamondbacks. I can almost guarantee you that. I mean, he's going to a really good spot. Diamondbacks needed that guy to fill in for Christian Walker, and in that hitter's friendly environment, he's gonna eat. He's gonna capitalize. So, Josh Naylor, he's gonna be that middle of the order masher. Him and Geno Suarez, I think that's a pretty nice pairing. And Josh Naylor, he's that thump that you want out of a first baseman. This is a position where defense doesn't always matter. So, the fact that you got a guy that's giving you 30 homers, almost 110 driven in, that's exactly what you would envision when you see a first baseman. So,
Yeah. My number 10, I have Michael Busch
okay.
of the Chicago Cubs. Read off his stats here: 21 home runs and 65 RBIs and was average 248. So good numbers out of Michael Busch, I think. He was real solid for Cubs this year. Okay defender, nothing really special there. But unlike catcher, I can live with a lesser defender at first base. I think it's not as important as a catcher. People like to say just catch the ball, but there's more than that. But I think he's also a good hitter. They did solid piece for the Cubs here. Really nothing special, just solid guy, what you want in the lineup.
Yeah, that's true. I had him at number 9, so I agree with the points. He had almost a 3 WAR season. You rattled off some of the stats, so I won't, repeat it and make it repetitive. But he had almost a 120 OPS plus, which is really impressive. He just fit in really well. He got out of a situation with the Dodgers where he didn't really have a lot of room to play. And now he's got all the run in the world in Chicago, and it seems like a really good fit for him. He just had a really good season. I mean, 20 home runs, 60 RBIs ish. I mean, that's really good. That's really good from a first baseman. So yeah, I mean, you said a lot of good things about Michael Busch, and I agree. I mean, we almost had him in the same spot. So
yeah. So number 9, this is where I had Vinny Pasquantino of the Kansas City Royals. Give you some of the stats here: 2 average, 19 home runs, 97 driven in, which is really impressive, and a 1.1 WAR. Good numbers. Another good year to Vinny Pasquantino. I just think I think of the defensive numbers up here. So defense isn't great. Negative 1.1 defensive WAR. Not much to look for, but offensive numbers, I mean, 97 driven in is really impressive at a first baseman or at any player. Close to 100 is good. So I think, he deserves this number 9 spot. Maybe he's lacking a few stuff, and you want that average a little higher if you're not only going to hit 19 home runs. But maybe you can count that as him only playing 131 games. Still a good season out of Vinny.
yeah, that's true. I kind of forgot about Vinny, and now that I think about it, I mean, I would probably say that he would be my number 11. So
He's a borderline guy.
Borderline. I'd rather have Josh Naylor over him right now, but I think Vinny Pasquantino is definitely a guy that's capable of leapfrogging into this top 10. I mean, it's very easy. I mean, he's he said a lot of great points. Like he's very good. So, just wanted to shout him out. Number 8. I'll move on to my number 8. My number 8 was Tristan Casas. Let me just. Yeah. Okay. Tristan Casas. It's with an O. Tristan Casas. I know he's hurt, and that doesn't help him that much. He had a .6 WAR in 2024. He only had 212 at bats. It seemed like there was some very interesting injury-related issues.
Yeah.
But he's talented. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. He had an 856 OPS in 132 games in his rookie season. I mean, he was challenging Gunnar Henderson for the Rookie of the Year, and for good reason. I mean, he had 25 home runs almost and 65 RBIs. I mean, that's a really good season. Um, you know, he has a 125 career OPS plus. You know, in his career, he's almost got 3 wins above replacement, which is really good. He's got a career 830 OPS, career 109 RBIs, 42 career home runs. I mean, there is a really good player in him somewhere, and I think that could be unlocked if he stays healthy. So I like Tristan Casas a lot, and I think he's really good, and I don't want the injury to kind of undermine him by any means.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly, I don't have Tristan Casas on my list here at all. It's surprising that you have him and I don't. But we passed that to my number 8, which I have Carlos Santana of the Minnesota Twins. I think Santana, he's been doing it a while now. Yeah, another good year. I mean, 23 home runs, 238 average, 71 RBIs, and how many OPS 109? Not bad out of Santana there. I mean, defensive numbers, I think were okay. I can't find them, but I think they're okay out of him. He's been doing .1 WAR. So yeah, just good numbers across the board. Nothing spectacular. Kind of see that towards the top of the list, but I think there's a shout out here, number 8. Maybe revising this a little later. I mean, drop down a little bit, but I think he still's in the right area.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a good shot. I mean, Carlos Santana, shout out to that dude. He's still hanging around. So for number 7, I put Pete Alonso here. I know that seems a little bit low, but while I'm looking at this list, it's hard for me to push him up any higher. He still had a 2.5 WAR this year, essentially. A 123 OPS plus. That's really good. He almost had 35 home runs. Drove in 88. 788 OPS. I mean, Pete is really good, and somebody should sign him. And I know the contract situation is not great with him and Scott Boras, and what he wants to do, where he wants to go. There are a lot of kind of a lot of mist surrounding that, if you want to call it that. But Pete Alonso, it shouldn't be forgotten that this guy can still mash. I mean, this is the middle of the order bat that you want. I mean, they don't call him polar bear for nothing. He's a home run derby demigod, it feels like. So, he's coming in here for me at number 7. I think someone should pick him up.
Yeah, we're definitely talking before the show. I mean, where he's gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about maybe Mets, bring him back, something like that. I mean, you mentioned the Red Sox, but he should definitely be on a team. He deserves it. He's an outstanding player. A team could definitely use him. So my number 7, I have Christian Walker of now the Houston Astros, but former Diamondback. Another consistent guy the past years. A 251 average, 26 home runs, 84 RBIs. Posted 2.6 WAR. Good stats out of Christian Walker. I think he's going to be, good in Houston, as he always is. Defensively, he's good. Great, but good. I think you mentioned Pete Alonso. I would definitely take Pete Alonso over him, but I think Christian Walker's still a good player.
Yeah. So for my number 6, I put Wilson Contreras. Wilson Contreras is so good. I mean, he had a limited run this year because I believe he was hurt. He only played 84 games, but he had a 136 OPS plus in that time frame. He's still fantastic. I mean, I think the move to first base is only going to do wonders for him, and he could get even better because now all he has to do is focus on hitting. He had an 848 OPS in the limited sample this year, and he's got a career 814 OPS. I mean, this dude this dude can just hit. I mean, he can hit with the best of them. That's what we've really seen from him his whole career. He's always been a bat first player, and he's good. I'm expecting a lot from him with this move to first base.
Yeah, certainly that'll be good for him. Now wide receiver 6, I have Pete Alonso here. Um, Similar to what you had, I think you made a lot of good points there. Just the guy who mashes, kind of said it all. He hits home runs. You know what's going to be for Pete. He's going to hit 30 bombs. That's what you're going to get. I mean, this year, 240 average, 34 home runs, 80 RBIs. I think you kind of mentioned these stats a little bit, so I won't repeat all of them. It's just consistent mashing home runs for Pete Alonso. We saw it in the playoffs. We see it in the home run derby. We see it in the regular season. It's what he's known for at this point. I just talked about it. He can definitely be on a team that he can play a big role on a team. When you hit 30 home runs, you think teams want that, but apparently not as much as we think. But we'll see where he lands.
Yeah. Real quick, team prediction. Where is Pete Alonso going? Rapid fire.
Put the spot here. I'll say Mets. What do you think?
I feel like it's back to the Mets for Pete.
All
It
right.
kind of feels like the only option now.
Pockets too deep.
Yeah, it's true. All right, top 5. Here we go. My top 5 starts off Christian Walker. I feel like we basically swapped Pete Alonso and Christian Walker, and I like Christian Walker a little bit better. I know that the first base defense, it doesn't matter, but when you have a silky smooth defender like him over there, I mean I'm not taking it for granted if I'm a team. So, Christian Walker he's a great defender. He had an 803 OPS in 2024, had a 121 OPS plus. Even in Arizona where the ball can fly a little bit. He blasted 26 home runs, hit a 251 average. He had a 2.6 WAR, 479 at bats, 120 hits. I mean, this guy, he's so good. I feel like this is a really just solid player. And, I think Christian Walker, he might do even better in Houston because now he's got the Crawford boxes. It's similar to someone I mentioned, Yander Diaz. Excuse me. He's great. Christian Walker, I think, can go off with Houston. So, he was a great get for them, and this is just a really solid first baseman.
Yeah. So interesting top top 5. I have a guy you've already mentioned here, Josh Naylor. So that's a little interesting. That's our first kind of miss of the day, our biggest miss. I just think, I know the defense is terrible for Josh Naylor, but I said it before, the defense doesn't really matter as much at first base as it does for catcher. You don't need to be a great defender. First base is not as hard a position. And then the offensive numbers is just electric. And 31 home runs, 108 RBIs was ridiculous. 243 average. I think he's a great piece of Diamondbacks. I think he's a top 5 catcher in the game. Maybe the WAR and the defensive stats don't speak for it. I think offensively, he's one of the best first basemen, which I think earns a top 5 spot. I don't know, different from you.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. You're right. That is certainly our biggest miss so far. But, I think on the bat alone, you can argue, especially at a position like first base, you can argue in favor of a guy like Josh Naylor. So I don't blame you for putting him up high. But, he's still really good. And I don't want to lose sight of that. I mean, the bat is just so good, and that was a really good pickup for the Diamondbacks. Number 4. My number 4 is Matt Olson. Let me pull up his page. Matt Olson is fantastic. I mean, I feel like these next 4 are really where we get cooking with gas here. Matt Olson, he almost had a 4-WAR season. I mean, he can lock this dude in for like a full season, and he had a 790 OPS. It was a 118 OPS plus. He almost had 30 home runs. He almost drove in 100. It felt like a down year overall for Atlanta. Just like something was off. A lot of players are getting hurt. Um, stuff like that. And when the Braves were right, this team is rolling. And when Matt Olson was at his best, he was an MVP candidate. So, I mean, Matt Olson can go off, and he still had a really good year. And if this is the baseline for him, I mean that's incredible if you're Atlanta, and he's gonna do wonders for this lineup, and he's just so good. Another guy, he's great over there at first base defensively. So Matt Olson, I think this is where it gets exciting in this first base rankings. And he's awesome. I mean, it's a shame that he can go higher. I like Matt Olson a lot.
Yeah, definitely. This top four is maybe we can go 4 for 4 because I had Matt Olson here, number 4 too. You kind of said there. I mean, it wasn't this year. It was down from last year, but it doesn't mean it was a bad year for Matt Olson. There's still a very good year for anybody else. So even though it wasn't last year with the 54 home runs and top 4 in MVP, it was still a great year for Matt Olson, and he just proves again and again that he's a top player in this league. It definitely deserves to be top forward. It's a tough position. Like you said, down here for the Braves. I could see, if they're better this year, he can climb these rankings. He'll have a better season. We'll see him higher next year.
For sure. So for my number 3, I understand this may be a little bit interesting. I went with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in this spot. He went off this year. I mean, he uncorked it this year. So, I mean, 166 OPS plus is insane. He put up a 6-WAR season. He had 30 home runs. He drove in 100. He had a 940 OPS. I mean, this dude had an elite offensive season. He had one of the best in the game. And it is a shame that he isn't higher on my list, but that's just where my list stands. He's just crazy with what he can do, and he's only 25 years old. He's going into his age 26 season. It is scary what this dude can get on the open market. This dude is amazing at the plate. It's been a roller coaster. I mean, I will admit, 788 OPS is not what we expect from Vlad back in 2023, and an 818 in 2022. That's like solid, but it still felt underwhelming compared to his 2021 season. But Vlad is so good. I know the first base defense is really not good, but he is amazing when it comes to the bat, and he absolutely deserves to be in the top 3.
I think Josh Naylor was a hot take for number 5, but this might be the hot take of the day from Vladdy at number 3. I mean, wow. I don't get it. So we're not going 3 for 3, I guess, because at number 3 I had Freddie Freeman, who had another good year. 282 average, 22 home runs, 89 RBIs, 4.7 WAR. Another good year, and obviously he went crazy in the World Series. We all know that. So he's still top player in this league, top first baseman. Everyone knows Freddie Freeman, who is good defender, good offensively. He just does it all. Can't hate Freddie Freeman, and he definitely deserves number 3. But I'm still shocked by Vladdy number 3. I think that's a bold call.
Okay. All right. Number 2. As I pull up my number 2 guy. So my number 2 guy is going to be Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper is amazing. I mean, he's awesome. 150 OPS plus essentially. He had 30 homers this year, 285 average, 550 at bats for the Philadelphia Phillies. This was his first season, I think, moving to first base full time. I mean, this dude is just an animal. This dude can produce with the best of them. And he's crazy. Bryce Harper's a dog. I mean, he fits so well with the Phillies, and I like the move to first base for him long term. I know he can't show off the hose piece that he has, but if they want to make that contract look good, this is how you do it. You move him to first. Kind of in this stage, he's on the other side of 30. Drove in 87. I mean, he's a beast. And Bryce Harper, he's a good defender when it comes to playing first. He's obviously a great right fielder, so it's going to be even better at first. Yeah, almost a 900 OPS. It's Bryce Harper. What can you really poke a hole in for Bryce Harper? Like, you can't poke a hole in his game really. So, Bryce Harper, he's awesome. I love Bryce Harper.
Can I ask, what is Bryce Harper? What makes Bryce Harper better than Vladdy?
I think that just the consistency of Harper. Like I
So
know
you're factoring other years.
Vladdy's been he's still been good his whole career, but I feel like Harper is just I just like Harper overall better a little bit. So that's really it for me. I mean, we looking at these numbers, we haven't seen a time when Bryce Harper wasn't mashing. So I mean, what else is there to say at that point?
Yeah, okay. So you're factoring other seasons. That's and what he's done in the past.
Yeah, I mean, you still got to look at the past to, potentially what he can do in 2025.
That's different for me because if you just look at these numbers, it's clear. So I'll go to my number 2. I also had Bryce Harper. You kind of said it all there. He's consistent. He does it every year. 30 home runs, 85 average. It's more Bryce Harper. Like you said, first year at first base, Foley didn't slow him down. He's still Bryce Harper, which is a Hall of Famer, I think.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. I mean, think about it like this. What if Vlad's OPS starts with an 8 rather than a 9?
Starts with the what?
What if Vlad's OPS starts with an 8 rather than a 9?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is.
Which I don't think is that crazy. As good of a year as he had.
Can you say that this year Vladdy's definitely better than Bryce Harper? This year. Well, I want to hear. Who's better this year? Do you think?
I mean, Vlad had the better year, but I still want Bryce Harper over Vlad in 2025.
Uncle, really?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's Bryce Harper.
All right. Okay.
I'd rather bet on Bryce Harper than I would Vlad.
Wow.
I mean, think about Vlad did this in 2021. Vlad had this amazing season, and then he kind of was underwhelming.
But do you factor in that Bryce is 32?
I'm not gonna doubt Bryce Harper. He's one of those players.
Okay.
You can't doubt him, but not with this track record.
I mean, he's had seasons in the past where he's been injured.
He's never had an OPS above or below 800 ever. Or no, wait.
Yes.
He had one season where he had an OPS below 800.
One season, yeah. That was his one off year where he's 30 in the league.
He's been an MVP in 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I just got a better feeling about Bryce.
I just think if we're talking best first baseman right now, I'm taking Vladdy after this season.
I think it's a combination of floor, ceiling. Like Vladdy's got a lower floor than Harper, but he has the higher ceiling. Like if Vladdy hits again, like it's better than Harper, but like if Vladdy like Bryce does have the higher floor than Vladdy.
So how about this? If Vladdy does this again, he has another great year, and Bryce Harper
Hmm.
kind of has this also kind of good year, but not as great as Vladdy. Are you taking Vladdy over Harper now?
I might, especially because
So
Harper would be 33.
okay, so we'll
Yeah, I
see.
mean,
It's interesting year for Vladdy. See if he can stay
yeah,
consistent.
yeah. Vladdy's got to keep it up. I want to
Uh,
see it from Vladdy. I do.
so there you go. Let's see your number one. I think we know what my number one is.
I know who your number one is. I mean, I think like Vlad had a 1002 OPS in 2021, and then it went down to 818, and then it went down to 788.
Yeah, but I think he had upside. I like the upside of Vlad.
I think that's it.
I mean,
Like,
his ceiling is 2021. This year wasn't even his ceiling. His ceiling was 2021, where he went crazy.
and
No,
I
if not for Otani, he would have won MVP.
and I think that's it. I think you like the ceiling of Vlad better, and I like the floor of Harper better.
Okay,
I think that's the reasoning.
there you go. Yeah,
Like, yeah, like you're willing to cherish the peaks of Vlad, while I just like the consistency of Harper.
but even I feel like these past 2 years weren't bad for Vlad. It's not like he was terrible.
No, I mean like Vladdy wasn't bad, but can you not lie? Like you're sitting there in 2023, like yeah, I'm a little bit underwhelmed compared to like 2021 or two.
You could say that. Yeah.
Like yeah, we're all sitting there like yeah, I mean this is a good Vladdy, but like we know there's a better Vladdy in there.
Okay. It's just preference.
It's a preference thing. It's a preference thing, I'm gonna side with Harper. But I mean, I think Vladdy can also jump Harper. I think he can absolutely do that as soon as
Yeah.
next year.
It's just the age gap.
It's the age thing. But I mean, one more thing, real quick. What does Vladdy's contract number start with?
But what happens this season? Gotta give me context. What does he do this season?
Well, according to Baseball Reference, they got him for an 861 OPS, 26 homers, 87 RBIs, 291
It starts
average, 364 on base, 497 slugging.
it starts with a 6.
Starts with a 6?
Yeah.
It should not start with a 6.
That's too low? Too high?
Too high. No,
Dude. Hey, you lowballed Juan Soto. I lowballed Juan Soto a little bit, but you thought I said 7 and you thought that was crazy.
yeah, and I mean Juan Soto should not have gotten $765 million.
But that's what people are getting nowadays. That's what we see.
I feel like someone has to reset the market.
And the Blue Jays got money.
Like you can't be handing out contracts like that
Someone's
in
gonna
baseball.
until they prove that it's not gonna happen again, I'm gonna say he gets 6.
I mean it
Because
should.
right now they just hand out all these big deals like nothing.
I mean I personally think it probably should be a 3.
A 3.
I mean like
That's a bold call, man. It's a bold call.
Like that's what he is. Like, if we're being honest, he's a $300 million player.
No, he's at floor 450.
And like, yeah, that's probably what the market is. Like, if you're looking at it point blank, he's a $300 million player. But because of the market, it's probably more like 4 or something. Maybe even 5.
I say 6, man.
If someone
if
wants
he
him
does,
that bad.
because I think he's 6.
That's
Go
kind
on
of
bet.
stupid.
It's what the league is.
It is what the market is, but like,
Talk to the owners.
it's stupid. Like Juan Soto shouldn't have gotten $765 million.
It is crazy how these.
Yeah, I mean, Soto, like, be honest. Should Juan Soto have been paid 765?
No.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I guess it's just kind of where the market is.
That's where we are.
Yeah,
And it's surprising because, baseball isn't like growing at a level like basketball or football. So how are these contracts getting so big?
yeah, yeah.
And
You're gonna have Vladdy. You're gonna have Tucker. You're gonna have,
I
it's
think at some point these owners are going to realize we don't have this type of money to keep spending on these guys. So the contracts are going to slow down.
as they should realize at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, number 1. So we all know who your number 1 is, and I would imagine people know who my number 1 is. I went with Freddie Freeman here. I mean, I'll just say this. I mean, like, who doesn't love Freddie Freeman? Who
Everybody
doesn't?
likes him. Everybody.
Everyone,
How can you hate
everyone
Freddie
likes
Freeman?
him.
Maybe you're a
You,
Yankees fan.
you can't hate him. You just can't. That, like, you're not gonna find a single soul on this earth that doesn't like Freddie Freeman. Ever.
Yankees.
Not well. I mean, like, objectively.
Yeah.
Objectively, he's like one of the most likable baseball players we've ever seen. I mean, he put up almost a 5-WAR season. He had a 143 OPS plus. He had 22 homers, 282 batting average, 89 runs driven in. I mean, like, in the first name you mentioned with the Dodgers is like either Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts. He's not the first name.
And he's the best first baseman in baseball, and for me, he's top 3.
I mean, the postseason too. I mean, that's probably a factor for me. I mean, the fact that this dude just went absolutely bonkers in the playoffs. But I mean, he even plays a Gold Glove caliber first. I mean, he's so well rounded. This is like one of the best, most well rounded profiles in baseball. With Freddie Freeman. So that's why I had him at number 1. Wait, I got to do a quick calculation. You can do your Vlad praise.
Well, we talked about it a lot. About Vlad. We talked about the numbers, talked about how great he is. I said it, I just value the upside, really. That's kind of it. If he can do this, and like we saw in 21, he can hit the way he hit, then there's not much people even better in the league than this guy. So I'll take that upside every time if he could be a top 5 hitter in the league at his best. I'll take it over guys like Freddie Freeman. Bryce Harper are still very good. I just think the upside's too much.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good stance to have. I mean, I like that headspace thought. So, I don't blame you for putting him at number 1. I mean, so yeah. I did a quick calculation. I mean, he's making $27 million. I thought it was cheaper than that, so I was trying to look cool, but
Okay.
didn't happen. Anyway, that'll be it for this episode. We got catchers and first baseman in this episode. Next week we'll put out Second base and shortstop. We'll do the up the middle, and then we'll move on from there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Brennan, any last thoughts?
Oh, a couple disputes there at top, but I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Good
that's
not
true.
to have all the same list.
Yeah. These are some honestly pretty strong positions.
Yeah. First base, and we
yeah.
saw that top three. I feel like you can go any order with that.
Yeah, I agree. You can. Second base will definitely be a little weaker next week, and we'll make that clear. But these are some two solid positions. Catcher's on the up and coming, and first base is really good too. So that's all we got for you guys. Everything you need is in the description, and with that, we'll see you next time.